Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that is completely going to change how you look at that everyday patch of grass right outside your window. We're talking about the Medicinal Garden Kit and how it's actually designed to turn an ordinary, run-of-the-mill backyard into a completely self-sustaining, natural healing space.
So, let me ask you this. What is the absolutely most important thing missing from your backyard right now? Well, that's the central question posed by the creator of the Medicinal Garden Kit. I mean, think about it. We've gotten so incredibly reliant on modern supply chains and big pharmacies for every single little ache, pain, or fever, right? But what happens if those systems get strained, or worse, completely inaccessible? Setting up your own backyard pharmacy tackles that exact vulnerability head-on.
To really get this kit, we've got to look at the mastermind behind it, Dr. Nicole Apelian. Now, her background is seriously impressive. She's a biologist with a degree from McGill University, a master herbalist, and a hardcore survival skills instructor. She actually spent years out in the Kalahari Desert, honing her skills with the Sandbushfin. They are literally one of the oldest cultures on Earth, and they live to these incredibly ripe old ages by relying 100% of the land around them for both food and medicine. But here's the thing, her journey isn't just some academic study, it's deeply, deeply personal. When she was just 29 years old, Dr. Apelian was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, which is an incurable autoimmune condition. She was in constant, agonizing pain and eventually ended up relying on a wheelchair just to get around. When traditional Western treatments just weren't cutting it, she went right back to her roots in natural medicine. By using the exact remedies she grew in her own backyard, she essentially managed for MS, going from being pushed around in a wheelchair to being, as she puts it, fully alive. And wow, she really meant fully alive. Because she regained so much strength using her own backyard herbal remedies, she actually went on the History Channel's brutal survival show alone and survived out in the complete wilderness for 57 days straight. 57 days! It's just an absolute powerhouse example of human resilience and the real power of natural healing.
I mean, let's just think about a traditional pharmacy for a second. They're expensive, you gotta drive there, and in times of crisis, they are super vulnerable to supply chain breakdowns, sudden closures, or even looting. Now, completely contrast that with a backyard pharmacy. It's quite literally right outside your back door, it is always open, completely self-sustaining, and once you plant it, it costs practically nothing. You are literally taking your health directly into your own hands.
Section 1. The 10 Powerful Healing Plants.
Okay. Let's dive into the plants themselves. First up, we've got chicory. Native Americans relied heavily on this for joint pain relief. You can actually just grind up the root and toss it right into your morning coffee. Next is yarrow, which is just a phenomenal backyard wound healer. Honestly, you can even chew a fresh leaf for instant relief from a toothache. And then we have Echinacea. Growing this yourself guarantees that it's potent and not just some counterfeit supplement you bought online. Simmering those roots makes a ridiculously powerful immune-boosting tea.
And we've got a wildly striking example of this from Dr. Apelian's time on the show alone. Picture this. It's day 42. She suffers this really deep hand cut while gutting a fish. No doctors, zero antibiotics around. So she finds some wild yarrow, wraps it tightly around the deep wound, and the bleeding stops in minutes. In minutes! It healed up so well she barely even has a scar today. This is exactly why having this plant growing just a few feet from your kitchen can be an absolute game changer.
Moving right along, we have the marshmallow plant, which is absolutely incredible for soothing your digestive system. Then there's chamomile, a fantastic natural relaxant and antibiotic. Just tossing some of this into a warm bath works absolute wonders for sore muscles. And evening primrose. This is a super vital plant because it actually contains substances our skin desperately needs but just can't produce on its own. Crush it into a poultice, and it's a fantastic remedy for balancing hormones and soothing nerve pain.
Now, the actual science behind how these plants work is so cool. Let's take the marshmallow plant, for example. You hear marshmallow and probably just think of roasting campfire treats, right? But the actual plant's root contains this thick, sap-like substance called mucilage. When you drink a cold extraction of this root, that mucilage literally physically coats your stomach and intestines with this protective layer. It soothes inflammation, ulcers, and heartburn the whole way down your digestive tract.
Rounding out our 10 plants, we've got California poppy. This is going to be your absolute go-to for deep, restorative sleep. Then, lavender. It doesn't just smell amazing, studies actually show its oil can cut down anxiety just as well as some heavy-duty pharmaceutical drugs. Calendula is next. It's a phenomenal skin healer and uniquely flushes out your lymphatic system when you brew it as a tea. And finally, Feverfew, which basically acts as nature's aspirin for knocking out fevers and intense migraines. To really show you how totally practical all of this is, just look at the California Poppy Sleep Tea. You literally just gather some leaves or flowers, pour hot water right over them, let it steep for 10 minutes, and drink it warm right before bed. That's the whole shebang. It guides you into this deep, uninterrupted sleep, and you completely bypass all those nasty addiction risks that come with prescription sleeping pills.
Section 2. Inside the Medicinal Garden Kit.
So what actually comes in the box? Well, the kit includes 10 individually packed seed packages, which gives you a grand total of 4,818 high-quality, completely non-GMO seeds. It also comes with a super comprehensive herbal medicinal guide from seeds to remedies. And this thing is great because it walks you step by step through exactly how to make tinctures, salves, and teas, even if you've never touched a plant before in your life. Plus, you get 2 awesome free bonus guides and a solid 365-day money-back guarantee. And hey, just a quick heads up, if you want to learn more about the product Medicinal Garden Kit, the original product link is right down in the description of this explainer.
Now, check out this stark financial reality, $1,742. That is exactly how much the average American is dropping every single year at the local pharmacy. Just totally contrast that immense, endless recurring cost with the total self-reliance of growing your own medicine. The savings alone make planting your own backyard pharmacy a complete no-brainer of an investment.
Let's talk about those bonus guides for a sec because they are packed with practical value. Bonus number 1 is called Healing Yourself at Home with Household Items. Basically, this guide shows you how to raid your regular old kitchen pantry and turn totally normal everyday items into powerful natural remedies. We're talking whipping up onion cough syrup, using vinegar socks to quickly bring down fevers, or slapping together a potato poultice. It's the ultimate companion guide to save you a bunch of money on unnecessary doctor visits. Then there's the second bonus guide, which is all about foraging. It's called Wild Edible and Medicinal Herbs You Can Forage. The whole idea here is that, while you're waiting for your brand new medicinal seeds to sprout and grow in the garden, this guide teaches you how to step right outside and easily identify powerful natural medicines that are probably already growing wild in your immediate area. You will honestly be completely amazed at what nature is already providing right under your nose. But honestly, perhaps the biggest, most important takeaway here is that almost all of these 10 plants are either perennials, meaning they just sort of die back in the winter and pop right back up out of nowhere in the spring, or they're self-seeding annuals. That means you are not stuck replanting them every single year. You're basically setting up a lifelong, fully continuous backyard pharmacy. And again, if you're looking for all the details about the product Medicinal Garden Kit, the original product link is in the description of this explainer, so you can get out there and start your own garden. So I want to leave you guys with this final, kind of provocative thought to chew on. If a real crisis hit tomorrow, would your backyard actually be able to heal you? It's a pretty heavy question about our own preparedness, right? It's about taking true ownership of our health. Transforming your backyard into a healing sanctuary isn't just some fun, quirky weekend gardening project. It's a literal investment in your safety, your family's well-being, and honestly, your peace of mind. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on The Explainer today. Stay curious out there, and I'll catch you on the next one.